running behind schedule. So we're going to try to do this afternoon is we combine sessions 2 and 3 together. This is the same people that are actually going to doing them. Hopefully we'll be able to make the time. So session 2, setting the tone and lessons learned. So this session will present results of the implementation of the programs, projects under the ITU Action Plan related to Africa and regional initiatives approved by WTDC 14. The moderator for this session is Honorable George Anda. Honorable George Anda is the Deputy Minister for Communications. Honorable George.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed your lunch session. We are actually running late, and so like the chairman of the occasion said, we're going to try and run through the rest of the sessions to be able to catch up. I'd like to call on stage my brother, the Regional Director for ITU for Africa, Andrew. You don't need any introductions because he's been introduced several times today. There are a few other people that are joining us on the panel. Jean-Jacques. Is Jean-Jacques around? Oh, Jean-Jacques, please join us. Jean-Jacques is the ITU representative for Central Africa and Madagascar. And Marcelino Tayob, Senior Advisor at ITU for this. Please join us on stage. So I believe that this session is quite simple. There are a number of initiatives that are being implemented for the region, and we'd like to pick up the learnings. So I think, Andrew, would you want to start? Would you want to start, or you want me to recap the 5 initiatives? I believe we all know the initiatives. Everybody knows the initiatives, right? Or you want me to recap the initiatives? The headsets are not working. Are the headsets working now?
They will be in the presentation.
Okay.
We are waiting for the presentation to come up.
And can we have the presentation up, please?
Okay. Mr. Chairman, my friend George, Deputy Minister, thank you very much. Honorable guests present, DG, I want to recognize my friend Professor Kwena there. He's in a way my inspiration in a lot of things, and he's Ghanaian. I would like to give you some background about RDF, about where it came from. It is actually a decision of WTDC, and it provides an opportunity for member states to interact around decisions that have been made in WTDC. WTDC, for those unfamiliar with it, is the World Telecommunication Development Conference, and it is the premier conference for the Telecommunications Development Bureau. So RDF serves as a platform to exchange ideas, get to know what the good practices are, but also it is my platform as the regional director to report back to the membership what has happened in the previous year and how does it measure up to the targets that I set at the beginning of the year. So it gives you, the membership, an opportunity to review what has happened, to review progress, to share experiences, and to offer advice and to promote good practices. So last year in Buenos Aires, we held WTDC 2018, and there were many decisions and recommendations that were made, but we are going to focus a little bit and zero in on regional initiatives and their applications towards SDGs. When you were deciding on regional initiatives in 2014, because it's 2014-2018, the 4-year cycle, so the regional initiatives that we're completing right now are within that period, but they were based on the fact that ICT is a tool, a very good tool to accelerate achievement of SDGs. It is also ubiquitous. It's with you all the time. And we know from experience now that it is a tool that improves the quality of life of people. And therefore, we've used those regional initiatives and implemented them through projects, through programs, and through the operational plan that is approved every year. So, to achieve expected results that are set also by the WTDC for the 5 regional initiatives, we provide a platform for discussing the formulation of the implementation for regional application and national implementation. So we also define a framework for the scope and also try and identify funding sources. Of course, we try also and identify partners that would work with us in the implementation of these initiatives. So the ones that I think you were asking about, the regional initiatives that were agreed in 2014 are strengthening human and institutional capacity building, strengthening and harmonizing policy and regulatory frameworks for the integration of African telecommunication and ICT markets, development of broadband and adoption of the same, spectrum management and transition from analog to digital broadcasting, and also cybersecurity that we call building confidence and security in the use of telecom applications. So, if I zero in a little bit on the implementation of those initiatives as I have mentioned them, the first regional initiative that is on strengthening human and institutional capacity building is something that we have largely done through our network of centers of excellence. And there are 6 of these. One is in Nigeria, which is Digital Bridge Institute, and I think I see their sign there. The second one is ESMT, which is in Senegal, ESATIC, which is in Ivory Coast, University of Rwanda, College of Science and Technology, which is in Rwanda, Center of Learning, Telecom South Africa, and Afrarti, which is in Kenya. And the way we did this is we looked at thematic areas, policy and regulation, broadband access, as you see them put up there, and each center of excellence in this network focuses on one of those. We also have this network all over the world. It's not only in Africa, it is all over the world. This is a picture that shows you the performance of these centers of excellence. So we've been operating through centers of excellence, but also through the ITU Academy. I'm not sure how many of you have used the ITU Academy, but if you go on the website, you'll see that there are courses that you can actually follow from ITU online. Well, as I said, it's not something that we are looking to do alone. The job of capacity building is huge, and therefore we have partners. We have different partners in training or capacity building, Internet of Things, in satellite communications. We have master's degrees that are offered through a UK university. There's also training with partners in radio spectrum monitoring and techniques. The logos of our partners are displayed there, and let me pause to thank them, because they are doing an excellent job in training Africans with us. The second regional initiative of 2014 is strengthening and harmonizing policy and regulatory frameworks for the integration of African telecoms. What we have done over this last year and actually the years before was to develop and promote reference frameworks for harmonizing of ICT regulatory and policies in Africa. You may remember that from 2008 to 2013, we had a project called HIPSA. A lot of these frameworks were developed under that, but we have also developed or provided technical assistance to countries in developing national broadband plans, in developing universal access guidelines, providing workshops for the same. And we have a project that I had from the Deputy Minister or from the Minister that it is also taking place in Ghana, the training of the judiciary on ICT laws interpretation and enforcement. This is a project that we started, I think, last year with Kenya, and it is now catching on very fast. We are taking a regional approach and zeroing in customizing to different countries. We've also spent the whole of last year assisting different countries on regulatory frameworks and policies, and actually also helping countries in creating in regulatory agencies where they don't have them. An example there is South Sudan, also in Swaziland, help them to implement the laws in the agency, and also Gambia. We conduct regional fora and symposiums. I'm sure most of you know the Forum for Telecom Regulation in Africa, FTRA, that we hold every year, except that this year it was postponed. We also hold a regional working party on private sector issues. Let me step back and say we take private sector very seriously, because where private sector can do something, we promote them to do it and step back. So we very often work with private sector. Where we can, we help them get up and give them the driving seat. Also, best practices in quality of service and quality of experience. I failed to mention Transform Africa and Smart Africa. This is the premier forum now that was created under the guidance of heads of state that is now driving the transformation of Africa. The last Transform Africa Summit was actually last May in Rwanda. The development of broadband access and adoption. Again, I think the key thing that we engaged in during this past year was in developing interactive terrestrial transmission maps. And what this does, when you look at this map, you see exactly where transmission lines in Ghana, for example, are. We work with the regulator, we work with the operators, whether they are telecom operators or whether they are infrastructure operators, and then we map. The reason for this map is that government can use it when placing services, private sector knows where to invest, even other government agencies that want to put a hospital there, to put another agency there, they work with this. Also developing facilities and helping countries actually either set up universal access funds or actually use them. In terms of infrastructure, we've had projects with partners like Macau Foundation, and we've implemented broadband wireless networks in Burkina Faso, in Burundi, and we are actually in the process of establishing one in Mali. We have completed the one in Rwanda, and the one in Swaziland is underway. We have just finished negotiation that my colleague there was involved with for Madagascar, and we are actually doing that on their own funding between ITU and Madagascar. In terms of cooperation with Korea, we've established wireless broadband master plans that different countries are using. We've established those for Congo, Brazzaville, and Malawi. And also, we have reached out to China to establish a working relationship between China and the East African bloc of countries. So we are acting as a go-between, as a trusted partner to establish this. Okay, I see there is something that somebody missed from my presentation, but we've actually been working with confidence and security in our network. What I said to you was really cybersecurity. We've worked with different countries in establishing computer incident response teams. We've worked with countries in establishing their maturity level in terms of their readiness against cyber threats. We've conducted cyber drills where different countries come together and they pitch themselves against opponents, and they see how cyber threats can be embarked on, but what measures should be taken to foil those. Okay, in terms of, it was here. The only thing that I can add here is our initiatives in child online protection. I don't know how many of you, how serious an issue this is, but it is an issue when a child can't safely go online and do what they do best, be creative. It is a problem when you have traffickers get onto Facebook and other social media, and what they are doing is attracting young kids that they then traffic. It is a problem when you have materials that underage people shouldn't see, and they're all over the place. So we are working with different countries in setting up not only awareness programs, not only detection programs, not only facilities where young people can go for help, but also the big stick. What happens? Why should people fear to do this? So we work with the prosecution, we work with the law, and we have established with different countries the cybersecurity law that includes the protection of children online. The last one is spectrum management and digital migration. I think you remember that ITU set a deadline for migration from analog to digital broadcasting. Unfortunately, this has been very slow. And even more unfortunately is that we as Africans are losing out because the result or the benefits of this migration are not only can you get higher quality television, not only can you get more channels, not only can you involve more people in the business, but you also have a digital dividend. This digital dividend, when you are using analog spectrum that is this much, and you move to digital broadcasting that takes this much and delivers more, what you've saved is what we call the digital dividend. And this is what we should be using for other services. So my appeal, and I think we have a workshop next week, my appeal to you is that your countries, if your country hasn't migrated, you should take this very, very seriously. You should migrate, and let's start to reap these benefits. Let's give our young people spectrum that they can work with. So, what lessons did we learn in this last year? And I'm rushing through this, Mr. Chairman, another couple of minutes and I'll be done. The lessons that we learned this last year is, excuse me, I don't know what happened to my presentation. Yeah, it's there. Okay, is that it is very, very important to find partners. Partners give you buy-in. Partners bring resources on board. Partners take what you've produced to other lengths. And so we have learned this year and have actually made an effort to look for partners in implementing regional initiatives. We have also learned that migration to digital terrestrial TV has not really worked very well. The migration, only 40% has achieved this. And as I was saying, the analog switch off has been a problem. And so again, my appeal when you go back to your countries is that you work on this. Our implementation of regional initiatives, our transformation is going to need everybody's involvement and everybody's investment. It is very important to look at this transformation as an investment, not as money that is going to return the next day, but as an investment in your quality of life. And so let's look at these regional initiatives in these coming 2 days, see what these priority areas that have been identified are, what projects we can do under these initiatives, how we can invest in them, and how we can implement them as quickly as possible. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Andrew, for a great session, telling us about the learnings. And I believe that, to recap, 3 things that Andrew has shared with us as far as the learnings are concerned. That it's important to find the right partners to drive our executions. It's important that we build that kind of right relationship with the partners that we identify. He also made it categorically clear that as far as the region is concerned, our DTT migration process is behind schedule. Once we are lagging as far as the migration is concerned, then it means that we don't have available spectrum to be able to drive some of the other initiatives and some of the massive transformations that we want to do on this continent. And the third one is that the implementation and the transformation agenda that we are driving at requires everyone's investment in terms of time, in terms of contributions, in terms of sharing learnings from other countries. I believe that today we've shared some learnings from Ghana on the lab, the lab that NCA has set up. Tomorrow you have the opportunity to also look at the Common Monitoring Platform, the NOC. And I'm sure that there are other countries that have very important experiences to share. So we'll take a few questions now, and then we'll make it snappy, and then we'll move to the next session, please. Thank you very much, Andrew. Questions, any contributions on the learnings and experiences shared by Andrew, please? Andrew, it looks like your presentation has gone down well. Nobody has any contributions, any further contributions, any questions? Oh, there's somebody at the back. You okay?
Yeah, I'm Joseph from NCA. So I wanted to find out whether there were certain specific policies for handicapped and then visually impaired people. Because as we are improving on people's life, we also have to look at them as we are moving along. So ICT for the disabled people.
Thank you very much. It's actually a subject, accessibility is a subject that is very close to ITU. And although it is not currently a regional initiatives among the 5 that we have had, that hasn't stopped us from working with our members on this. We have actually come up with guidelines to start with, guidelines for accessibility for member states to follow. What do you do to bring ICTs closer for use to those that are visually impaired or hearing impaired? And we have worked with different countries in terms of bringing the technology that is necessary, whether it's braille printers, whether it is technology that gives those who can't hear. Yes, so although I didn't mention it because it's not one of our regional initiatives, there are initiatives that we have implemented and continue to implement as far as accessibility is concerned.
Andrew, are there any more contributions, questions? Is there another one? Is that okay? Please.
Thank you very much. My name is Samuel Odoilai, a data center engineer. My question has to do with how ITU has put in place, if they have put in place guidelines that will help academia train the human resource in using these new technologies they are turning out so that it will feed back into industry. So that when we are ready, we don't need to import resource persons to come and use these spectrums we are trying to churn out, because the human knowledge gap must be filled alongside the infrastructure development. Thank you. If there are any guidelines you would like to share with us, thank you.
Okay, take that, or there's some we take that or somebody.
So okay. So would answer that. But before he does, if there's another question, can we take it up now? We'll take a last question. Do I see a hand up there?
My name is Elvis from NCA. I'm learning from the presentation that with respect to digital migration, a lot of the countries are defaulting. And I know that Ghana is one of them. Somewhere last year, the sector minister did say that come 2018, Ghana is moving to DTT. And I would want to know whether we are still going by the timeline or we still have to wait a little bit longer for the movement to be done. And I know that this question can best be answered by the moderator, him being the Deputy Minister for Communications. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Andrew, you take yours and I'll take mine after.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for taking me off the hot seat. Yes, capacity building. We do different levels of capacity building. As I said, mostly through our network of centers of excellence, but we also have workshops and symposia that are on different subjects. I don't think we do capacity building specifically for academia, but rather academia joins in when we are doing other workshops as well. And I think an example is a recent capacity building workshop that was held in Mauritius on Internet of Things. And during that workshop, it wasn't only, it was all sorts of people, private sector, academia, entrepreneurs, they all came to that. So, and another avenue that I also mentioned before is our ITU Academy, virtual academy, that you can go online and find the courses that suit you and do them online. But and we welcome any ideas that you feel could help you.
So, hello? Okay. On the DTT program for Ghana, we haven't officially switched on the GTT network, but I'm sure that you are all experiencing the DTT viewing. All the sites in Ghana are now transmitting digital content. We have 40 channels that are up, and we've just finished connecting the southern sector to the national grid. The northern sector is being connected to the national grid now. We expect that will be finished or completed in the next couple of weeks. Then we can do the switching on. Indeed, all the network optimization has already been done using Genset. So once we have NETCO completing the connection to the national grid for the southern sector, we are good to go. We would start switching on the networks officially, or launching the sites officially in phases. Then would switch off the analog transmission, and then would have our spectrum to do other things. I believe that I've answered your question now. Are you satisfied?
Satisfied. But I'm asking whether you can promise the man next to you that if they are going to roll out sanctions for countries who are still defaulting DTT, Ghana is not going to be part, because you are promising that we are going DTT.
Well, I'm telling you that you're actually watching DTT now. You are watching digital transmission in Ghana now, so we are not part of the countries that are going to be sanctioned. Okay, I think Jack wanted to make a contribution.
Thank you, Minister. Does it go through? Yes. Yes, just to explain to our brother that, okay, some countries have made this choice to have what we call a simulcast period, which is keeping analog devices when installing the digital one. And there is not, when you are speaking of digital switch off, which is DSO, it's not the same thing that ISO, which is analog switch off. Okay? You have analog switch off, ISO, and the digital switch over. but it can be done at 2 different periods. So it's not the same concept. You can keep analog device working in some regions because you want to fix, to fine-tune some frequencies arrangement. But what is important in the DTT exercise is to switch off at the borders, because you cannot have harmful interference to your neighboring countries. When it's done, okay, you can even keep your transmitter, analog transmitter, 10 years in a region. In some mountains, if it's very difficult to have a digital signal there, if it doesn't harm, you can keep it. But you cannot harm your neighbors. So that's why in some countries you have a simulcast period, which is very expensive because you have to keep the 2 systems working for a period of 3-6 months. So thank you, Minister, for clarifying this. I am in charge of the coordination of DTT in all Africa region, so I take and duly note of your update. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So this session is now formally closed. I would hand over to Andrew, who is going to moderate. Oh, sorry. Chairman? Okay. So I'll hand over to Andrew, who's going to moderate the next session.
Okay, I would like to invite Madame Besso. Yeah? Don't sit in the middle there. In the middle. Let her sit in the middle. While she joins us, I would like to welcome you again. Thank you. This is session 3, delivering on Africa Regional Initiatives of WTDC 2017. As I have already said, WTDC 2017 in Buenos Aires agreed on a set of regional initiatives. They also made other decisions. And to take us through the Buenos Aires Action Plan, I would like to invite Jean-Jacques to make a quick presentation. We have made adjustments in the time management plan, and we would like to finish this session in time for your coffee break. You want this?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, I need this remote control, and I ask also, yes, mobile is. Okay. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Andrew. I know that the lunch was very nice. And so I hope the digestion is finished. So I will make some energy in this quick presentation. And in order for you to follow up, I will balance the language and make it in French, so that you have to put your earphones and so on and try to follow up. Bien, mesdames et messieurs, cette présentation très rapide, nous allons essayer de gagner un peu de temps, va porter sur le rapport de la CMDT 2017, que vous avez tous dans vos fichiers, téléchargeables librement dans le site de l'UIT, dans les 6 langages de l'Union. Donc, chinois, russe, anglais, français, espagnol, arabe. Donc, ceux qui sont libres, je suis désolé pour nos collègues du Mozambique, de Sao Tomé, de Guinée-Bissau. Le portugais n'est pas une langue officielle de l'Union. Donc, vous l'avez dans tous les langages, sauf le portugais en ce qui concerne l'Afrique. Ce rapport élaboré, mis à jour, qui vous a été communiqué largement par lettre circulaire du directeur du BDT, contient la déclaration donc de Buenos Aires, le plan d'action de Buenos Aires, le BIAPI, dans lequel nous trouvons tous les objectifs de l'UITD, c'est-à-dire donc du secteur de développement de l'UIT pour les 4 années à venir, faisant suite à la CMDT, en y déclinant les initiatives régionales, non seulement dans leurs perspectives, mais aussi dans leurs plans d'action respectifs, c'est-à-dire les moyens d'atteindre ces objectifs, les objectifs qui répondent tous globalement à ce qu'on appelle aujourd'hui le result-based management, c'est-à-dire que toutes les décisions que nous prenons au niveau des conférences mondiales de l'UIT, que ce soit l'UITR, l'UITD, l'UITT, doivent maintenant respecter le plan stratégique de l'UIT, qui est un plan stratégique défini sur les résultats orientés, et donc result-based management. Les commissions d'études, nous avons invité la présidente de la commission d'études 1 du BDT, qui nous fait l'honneur d'assister à ce forum. Donc, je vais lui laisser à tout seigneur, tout honneur, l'honneur et la primeur de vous présenter cela. Et je vais décliner un peu les résolutions. Il y a beaucoup de résolutions, effectivement, dans chaque conférence mondiale. C'est une conférence qui prend beaucoup de temps, qui nous permettent d'annuler les résolutions qui sont devenues obsolètes, de reconfirmer celles qui doivent rester en l'état et de créer de nouvelles résolutions en tant que besoin. Alors, nous avons... it doesn't go well. Bon, c'est toujours le problème avec les télécommandes. There is only 2 slides. Bon, alors la déclaration. La déclaration que vous avez eue cette année particulièrement, grâce aux efforts du directeur du BDT, qui a tenu à faire une consultation circulaire de l'ensemble des régions pour gagner du temps pendant la conférence mondiale, où l'ensemble des préoccupations de tous les pays ont été intégrées pour débat lors de la CMDT. Ce qui a fait qu'on a gagné beaucoup de temps dans cette déclaration, dont les points forts, comme vous le savez, ont visé notamment le rapprochement avec les lignes d'action du sommet mondial à la société de l'information, les aspects d'innovation et de partenariat, les aspects de connectivité des zones non desservies, notamment les zones rurales, mais aussi les questions de genre et la coopération, les échanges d'expériences, tout en pensant à la technologie qui évolue à une vitesse exponentielle. Nous avons aussi noté dans cette déclaration, qui était un engagement de l'ensemble des pays, que l'accès aux télécommunications en ce qui concerne le coût, c'est-à-dire le pouvoir d'achat, mais aussi la présence des réseaux dans toutes les couches a été très important et très discuté. Et nous avons pensé aussi qu'il fallait matcher, c'est-à-dire aligner les objectifs de cette CMDT au plan d'action 2030 de l'agenda pour le développement durable. Donc vous avez le plan de la Commission de l'Union africaine, les agendas 2063, mais le plus proche est l'agenda 2030, le plan d'action durable, donc que les pays ont tous signé. Alors, je vois les uns et les autres faire des photos de toutes ces présentations. Toutes ces présentations sont disponibles sur le site web de l'UIT, ROA et tout, etc. Vous pouvez y accéder librement. Donc, suivez les présentations, mais elles sont toutes disponibles. Elles sont téléchargées au fur et à mesure que les présentations passent. Donc, vous allez y avoir accès sans aucune réserve pour tous les participants. Le rôle des initiatives régionales a été rappelé par l'éditeur régional tout à l'heure. Et évidemment, tous les 4 ans, vous allez vous rendre compte que les initiatives régionales changent de priorité. C'est-à-dire que on passe de 1 à 2 ou de 3 à 4 selon l'atteinte des objectifs du précédent cycle. C'est ainsi que vous allez vous rendre compte que voilà, la migration était devenue initiative 5 alors qu'elle était initiative 4 dans le cycle d'avant, que nous avions dans certaines autres régions, quand vous lisez le rapport de la conférence, ils ont enlevé tout ce qui est stratégie sur l'économie numérique parce qu'ils ont déjà fini ces préoccupations, et que dans certaines régions comme l'Asie-Pacifique, le rôle des télécommunications d'urgence est plus pointu à cause des cyclones, des catastrophes, des tsunamis, etc., que dans la région africaine où les pays ont décidé librement, vous y étiez, je n'y étais pas, de ces initiatives régionales. Alors, it comes. Alors, comme je le disais, vous avez chaque objectif a été décliné avec le titre, les outcomes. It doesn't go, I don't know why. It's coming back to the previous one. Bon, OK, let's go to objectif by objectif. Je vous ai décliné ici, j'ai rappelé l'ensemble des objectifs qui ont été assignés pendant cette conférence mondiale. Alors, ce qui est important à reconnaître, l'objectif 1, c'est lequel? c'est la coopération internationale. Bon, ça, c'est ce que vous décidez tous lorsque nous y sommes. Hein. Bon, on veut toujours augmenter la coopération, et c'est pour ça que vous allez trouver des résolutions qui concernent la coopération avec l'UAT, la coopération avec le manifeste Smart Africa, la coopération inter-État, la coopération entre les secteurs de l'UIT. Un certain nombre de résolutions que vous avez décidées visent tout ensemble cette coopération et qui font l'objet de programmes particuliers. Et ne sont pas exclus les académies, hein, parce que les centres d'excellence sont promus sur la base d'un concours. C'est une compétition. Et nous sélectionnons, hein, sur la base de critères précis, les centres d'excellence qui sont retenus, hein, qui font partie donc du portefeuille complémentaire de l'Académie virtuelle de l'UIT. L'objectif 2 concernait donc les communications, hein, sécurisées. Hein, tout ce qui est cybersécurité, et nous sommes heureux de voir que la plupart des pays mettent en place des CIRT, hein, et nous avons évidemment mis des stratégies de formation pour améliorer les capacités, renforcer les capacités des pays membres hein, dans ce domaine de cybersécurité. Bon. Le 3, c'était l'environnement. Bon, Andrew en a parlé. Tout ce qu'on a fait, cette initiative a été reconduite, donc je ne vais pas être long là-dessus. Il s'agit de tout ce qui est réforme institutionnelle, création d'entités de régulation. Certains pays ont créé des entités de gestion des fréquences, des entités de la Société de l'information gérant cybersécurité, ont revu leurs lois, le Burundi est en cours, Madagascar, ont créé des nouveaux régulateurs. Donc c'est tout cela que nous mettons dans ce programme. Hein, et le 4, hein, c'est Inclusive Digital Society, donc la société inclusive. Pour tenir compte des personnes qui ont des mobilités réduites hein, dans tous nos systèmes, hein, les personnes âgées qui voient mal maintenant les écrans qui sont de plus en plus petits. Hein, donc nous avons aussi essayé de développer certaines stratégies, notamment sur les changements climatiques et évidemment le e-waste, c'est-à-dire tout l'environnement. Hein, ça fait partie donc de cet objectif numéro 4. Le 5, j'en ai déjà parlé. Alors, revenons à nos initiatives de cette région. Première initiative, économie digitale et innovation. L'objectif, tout le monde le sait. Le problème que nous avons en Afrique, c'est que chaque pays veut maintenant créer un centre régional de développement ou un centre régional technologique. Chacun veut faire une smart city, un centre, un incubateur d'entreprise. Alors ça devient difficile parce qu'il faut ordonner ce développement. C'est pour ça que nous avons plutôt privilégié que des projets hein, avec des flagship initiatives soient générées pour que les pays choisissent hein, les initiatives qu'ils veulent développer et que les autres puissent suivre. Les technologies large bande. Beaucoup de pays ont mis leur dorsale de fibre optique en œuvre, donc notamment on peut citer les prouesses des pays comme le Tchad qui nous permettent de lier maintenant l'océan Atlantique à la mer Rouge, hein, puisqu'il relie par le Cameroun l'océan Atlantique et en passant jusqu'au Soudan. Et donc la RDC qui elle aussi va partir un peu du sud, reprendre l'axe de ses frontières avec les autres pays pour remonter jusqu'en Afrique centrale. Hein, donc nous assistons à un certain nombre de projets financés par la Banque mondiale, par d'autres partenaires, hein, mais ces projets ressort tout simplement du souci de l'axe prioritaire de liaison de toutes les capitales, qu'on avait appelé le projet CAB pour l'Afrique centrale, mais dans les autres régions aussi. Toutes les capitales africaines doivent être reliées par des moyens de fibre optique dont on suit la réalité directement sur les réseaux routiers que vous avez présenté en route tout à l'heure. La sécurité, bon, vous avez vu que nous commençons maintenant à essayer d'inaugurer des centres de conformité et d'interopérabilité, c'est le cas du Ghana ici, parce qu'effectivement, la première des sécurités que nous avons tient des terminaux que nous utilisons. Si vous ne pouvez pas maîtriser les terminaux qui circulent dans votre pays, vous ne pouvez pas être sûr que ces terminaux vous permettent de communiquer en toute sécurité. Ensuite, ce sont les attaques. Donc, ce sont les CERT, les CIRT, toutes les attaques cybernétiques auxquelles nous assistons. Il faut mettre cette défense-là. Parce que si un seul pays est le maillon faible, mais toutes les attaques de l'étranger vont passer par ce pays et contaminer tout le reste. Donc il est très important que les stratégies soient partagées, soient connues, que tout le monde referme la sécurité pour que le maillon le plus faible puisse être à un niveau suffisant pour nous protéger tous. Alors, donc la migration, j'en ai déjà un peu parlé avec les questions des intervenants d'avant, mais ce qui est important ici, c'est que tous les pays avaient mis beaucoup d'efforts dans le management du spectre, hein, la gestion. Aujourd'hui, il faut mettre les efforts sur le contrôle. Beaucoup de pays n'ont pas d'équipement de contrôle de spectre. Effectivement, les analyseurs de spectre coûtent cher, les camions mobiles coûtent cher, mais il est très important de contrôler son spectre parce que beaucoup d'émissions parasites gênent des services primaires, gênent les services mobiles de large bande, et donc il faut maintenant se lancer vers ce contrôle de spectre, et c'est pour ça que nous avons la semaine prochaine, lundi et mardi, un séminaire, mais sur le contrôle du spectre. Non plus sur la gestion, parce que tout le monde a les outils logiciels, mais sur le contrôle. Les résolutions que vous avez vues ici, comme je vous ai dit, nous avons maintenant à peu près 66 résolutions actives. 1 minute? OK. Donc, vous les avez. Je vous les ai listées ici. Vous avez le document. Toutes les résolutions. Hein, vous allez avoir les présentations qui ont les détails par catégorie. Ce qui est important de retenir, hein, c'est que dans ces résolutions, hein, nous avons un lien précis de l'ensemble de ces résolutions avec les objectifs, hein, de développement durable, mais aussi avec les résolutions des plénipotentiaires. Donc, le mapping entre toutes ces résolutions-là et les SDGs sont faits, vous sont explicités ici. Alors, je vous ai classé ces résolutions, hein, un certain nombre, de savoir quelles sont les résolutions qui s'occupent de la reconstruction dans les pays, quelles sont les résolutions qui s'occupent des personnes, c'est-à-dire les zones, les indigènes, le gender, les personnes avec handicap, quelles sont celles qui s'occupent de coopération et quelles sont celles qui sont relatives simplement à la gestion du BDT, comme la résolution 1, 2, 3, etc., qui sont des résolutions logistiques, hein, pour mettre les méthodes de travail, les study groups, etc. Alors, je vous remercie. Je vais laisser la parole à Regina, qui va compléter sur les commissions d'études, hein, puisque j'ai exprès cela, et je lui laisse donc la parole, puisque nous sommes même pas en retard, mais nous avons le temps. Je suis là jusqu'à lundi pour ceux qui ont des questions. Merci.
Merci bien de me donner la parole. Je ne sais pas si la technique est prête. J'ai un petit souci avec mon laptop qui risque de se décharger. Alors, les commissions d'études. Les commissions d'études sont un organe statutaire du BDT. Donc, ce sont une plateforme d'échange, de partage d'expériences avec les États membres. C'est une plateforme d'échange où les experts se retrouvent pour discuter des questions d'intérêt commun qui sont les questions d'études. Et ces études sont sanctionnées par des rapports. Ah d'accord, je dois utiliser, ok. Donc, les travaux des commissions d'études sont sanctionnés par des rapports, des lignes directrices, des rapports d'études, des lignes directrices des États membres qui peuvent être utilisés, sinon faire l'objet d'appropriation. Alors, comment sont organisées les commissions d'études? Vous avez dans la diapo qui est projetée l'équipe de gestion. Donc, au niveau de l'équipe de gestion, à l'issue de la conférence, pour la commission d'études 1, nous avons un président en la personne de votre servante et 12 vice-rapporteurs. Commission d'études 2, un président et 11 vice-rapporteurs, représentant les 6 régions de l'Union. À l'issue des premières réunions des commissions d'études 1 et 2, les rapporteurs et vice-rapporteurs ont également été nommés et nous avons des rapporteurs sur certaines questions et des vice-rapporteurs. S'agissant de la région Afrique, vous verrez que pour ce qui est de l'équipe de gestion de haut niveau, nous avons 2 représentants de l'Afrique, donc le Cameroun et le Togo, dont le représentant est ici même. Et également, au niveau des rapporteurs, nous avons 2 questions qui sont leadées par des Africains, le Kenya, le Zimbabwe. Nous avons 26 vice-rapporteurs pour ce qui est de la commission d'études 1. commission 2, nous avons également 2 questions qui sont portées par le Kenya, le Nigeria et le Sénégal. Et nous avons 20 vice-rapporteurs. Alors, à l'occasion des premières réunions que nous avons eues, nous avons voulu partager une certaine vision avec les délégués. Donc, la vision, c'est la vision des 3 I. Plus d'interaction entre les parties prenantes, plus d'innovation et plus d'implémentation. Je pense que cette vision, nous devons la garder à l'esprit. Et c'est autour de cette vision que toute notre activité, notre dynamique est orientée. Bien, quelles sont les questions qui ont été identifiées à l'issue de la conférence de Buenos Aires pour la commission d'études 1? Cette commission est chargée de traiter toutes les questions qui contribuent à créer un environnement propice au développement des TIC. Donc, en termes de réglementation, de politique, de stratégie, tout ce qui tourne autour de la politique, des stratégies et de la réglementation est du champ d'application de la commission d'études 1. La commission d'études 2 a pour champ de compétences les applications TIC, les technologies. Et quelques questions spécifiques. Donc, en substance, la commission d'études 1 traite des questions de stratégie politique pour le développement du large band dans les pays en développement. La question 2, stratégie politique, réglementation, méthode relative au passage à la radiodiffusion numérique, à son adoption et la mise en œuvre de nouveaux services, on en parlait tantôt. La question 3 s'intéresse aux technologies émergentes, y compris l'informatique en nuage, les services mobiles, les OTT, et ce sont les aspects enjeux, perspectives, incidents sur le plan de l'économie et de la politique générale pour les pays en développement qui sont traités en substance. La question 4 traite des politiques économiques et méthodes de détermination des coûts des services relatifs aux réseaux nationaux de télécommunications. Donc, je voudrais vous faire l'économie des questions. Vous avez le détail des questions dans les slides qui vous seront transmis. Et avec votre permission, nous progresserons. Bien. Alors, ce tableau, c'est l'interaction entre les questions des commissions d'études et les 17 objectifs de développement durable ainsi que le plan d'action du SMC. Donc, vous verrez qu'il y a une corrélation entre les sujets qui sont traités au niveau des commissions d'études et toutes ces différentes retentions des Nations Unies. Alors, s'agissant des différents liens que nous pouvons avoir avec les initiatives régionales, puisque c'est la thématique principale de notre forum, vous voyez que, en ce qui concerne l'Afrique, c'est la zone encadrée en rouge. Donc, vous voyez qu'au niveau de l'Afrique, il y a une interaction avec la question de broadband, la question de broadcasting. Pour la commission 2, ce n'est pas très visible, mais pour la commission 2 également, nous avons des questions liées à... je ne sais pas si je n'arrive pas à bien voir. Donc, vous aurez le slide un peu plus éclairé. Voilà, donc concernant la commission d'études 2, la sécurité, justement, l'initiative relative à la sécurité. Et pour toutes les questions ensemble, les innovations, le renforcement des capacités interagit avec ces questions. Donc les initiatives relatives aux innovations et au renforcement des capacités ont une interaction avec ces questions des commissions d'études. Bien, alors, l'appel que je voudrais lancer Les commissions d'études sont un peu le laboratoire. Donc, les résultats, les différents produits des commissions d'études sont reversés, sinon exploités au niveau des programmes, au niveau des initiatives, font l'objet d'examens approfondis et sont déclinés en actions d'assistance, d'appui dans les autres compartiments de l'UIT. Donc, nous voulons lancer un appel aux différents contributeurs, aux différents États membres. En fait, les commissions d'études sont en action par rapport à nos contributions. Et nos contributions, ce sont nos expériences, ce sont les difficultés auxquelles nous faisons face, ce sont les plateformes où nous pouvons adresser nos problématiques et trouver ensemble des solutions. La prochaine réunion des commissions, donc des groupes de rapporteurs qui vont traiter de façon détaillée des problématiques, c'est en septembre. Donc la commission d'études 1, c'est du 18 au 28 septembre. Et la commission d'études 2, c'est en octobre. En octobre, et c'est prévu du 1er au 12 octobre. Nous avons des délais pour la traduction des contributions. Donc, pour la commission d'études 1, le délai, c'est le 1er août. Nous appelons à la soumission de contributions. Donc, c'est l'occasion de soulever les problématiques, c'est l'occasion de présenter votre expérience et la très importante expérience du Ghana que nous venons de partager à travers ce laboratoire que nous avons eu l'occasion de visiter pourrait faire l'objet d'une contribution en vue d'un partage à tous les niveaux. Les plateformes des commissions d'études sont essentiellement pour les pays en développement. Et je voudrais instamment lancer cet appel aux pays en développement, aux pays africains. L'Afrique a le lead de l'un de ces organes pour la première fois après les États-Unis. Et c'est pour que nous puissions adresser de façon approfondie nos préoccupations. Donc, je vous remercie et j'invite tous les experts de nos administrations en septembre et en octobre pour des échanges fructueux. Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bessu. I think the purpose was to see the link between these study groups and the work that we are doing here. Now I would like to invite my colleague, Marcelino, who is going to take us through the guidelines that have been guidelines and frameworks for regional initiative projects. Because as we said on the program, we shall be trying to put together projects that will implement these regional initiatives or priority areas.
Thank you very much. I will try to let me start by saying that the reason why we try to introduce some guidelines is to try to the 5 working groups that are going to work in parallel to come up with the same kind of reporting and proposals. Experience shows that innovations comes on the debate and the working groups can come with a different proposal that will not match. So you are free to correct if you agree with the guidelines and the methodology you are proposing. You are free to propose improvement. I think you notice that we have to focus in the working groups in the regional initiatives. From the presentation, you can see that we have programs, there are activities that are done in ITU that are global nature, are not regional initiative for Africa, but you do them in Africa in the context of global. Like the question that came about, we call it digital inclusion, which is the accessibility for people with handicap, facilitating gender issues. Those are not in our regional initiative, but they are in a global one. Activities come. It's very easy in the working group to divert, and start talking important things, but you have to bear in mind that we have to focus on regional initiatives. So what happened is the WTDC already defined what are the priorities for Africa. It was defined by Africans themselves, member states. For every region, which means continent, have their own 5 regional priorities, which are called regional initiatives. So the process is from WTDC, now we have the 5 regional initiatives, and now we have to formulate projects. What differentiates regional initiatives from programs and other activity is regional initiative supposed to be projects with certain dimensions that can address those expectations. Like a workshop per se cannot be a regional initiative. It can be just one part or one component that can lead to other results that is regional initiative. So that's what I tried to show there to the right-hand side. There are projects, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 10, which will address the expectations on regional initiatives. The methodology is nothing new. We can use the concept result-based project cycle. We are at the stage 1, that is identification and formulation of the projects. We leave the fundraising and finalization for late and other components to project cycle. So we use the same methodology that you all know. In the ITU, just to make you understand why you're proposing it, all our projects are draft following a certain structure. We are not going to follow all those details at this stage. Once we identify the project and the key components of the project, the other components that are there, like monitoring, responsibility of the parties involved and so on, will be filled in later. But these things are there, are structured. Now, what methodology we are proposing, which the groups have to decide if they follow it or not, then move towards the template in which you're going to report is, we have the title of the regional initiative. This is one example. I'm not going to repeat what my colleagues did. I just pick up an example. Building digital economy and fostering innovation. That's regional initiative number 1 for Africa. The objective of the regional initiative is clearly set up in the books and the reports of WTDC, which is a long one. I'm not going to read. No countries in Africa region are in need to invest. That's the objectives clearly laid down. Now, expected results from this regional initiative. I put 3 to not bother you too much because they are in the document, but there are 6. And what they are expecting is countries to be assisted in developing their digital economy strategies, for example, is one. Countries to be assisted with issues dealing with digital inclusion. There's another one that is developing countries, assist countries developing KPIs, etc. There are 6 expected results. Now, what we try to do, that's the template will give you, is what are the activities or initiatives you need to undertake to address each one of those regional initiatives. For example, if you take step number 1 is to conduct an assessment in the region, to understand where the countries in Africa are with respect to the national strategy. Many countries have done it, other countries have not done it. Then what you realize, that's what I try to do with those red lines, is this actually can immediately address 2 or 3 expected results when you do that study. And then you move to the outputs of those activities, and the next one then is you get the KPIs, the resources, and the duration. So this is the methodology you can use. We have an Excel sheet, which is easier to deal with. Then by analyzing it, you may come up with ideas how many projects you need per regional initiative. In some cases one, in some cases two. Documents will be given to different people to analyze and improve on it. Now, I have to go quick. No, regional initiative number one. What is the reporting structures we are expecting then? After you do that analysis in this Excel sheet, if you want to do, or you can go straight, we have to look at the situation today. That's what in the project books they call statement of the problem and justification. Right? Then we have the objective that was already defined for us. And then you see project one. You identify a set of activities can respond to expected result. Putting those activities together, you make a project. It's simple like that. And then you have to see what can you do in 2019, what can you do in 2020, what can we do in 2021. This is the time frame or the template we are looking for. Then we can work on the budget, how much it will cost. It's pure estimation. And very important, like the regional director intervention was talking about partnership, resource mobilization, where the money is coming from. This is a very sensitive, and you have to have a bankable project if you really want partners to come in. But this is the methodology we expect the groups to come up with. I guess it's very simple. Yes. So then go to number two, for instance. I was taking another example of, I forgot to say, these examples are, for instance, the project we identified in the ITU regional office is not validated, is not being discussed with member states. It's just an exercise we did. We identified these. They are all in a book that we call a booklet of projects. One, innovation of ecosystem. For instance, we identify a set of activities for 2018, 2020, which can make a project in its own, which addresses 4 expected results. And for us, 2 projects address all those 6 expected results. But it may not be correct. In the working group, you may find loopholes and correct it. It's an illustration. So now, the proposal of template is followed at the structure of the booklet, which means, number one, you have to have a project number or title. Number 2, you have to state the problem. The objective is number 3. The expected result the project you are proposing is addressing. The activities during the cycle, the cost estimate, source of funds, and if possible, the risk factors. If not, it's number 8. So this is what we are proposing as a methodology for the working group, and hopefully the 5 working group will report in the same structure. So it will make it easier to compare, even to look at the duplication that exists. So I think I took the 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The list of projects that we have proposed as the regional office are available in a document and will be available to you. But what we would like to do now is to establish working groups for each regional initiative. Then we have breakout rooms where these breakout sessions can take place and help us to identify or to discuss projects under that particular regional initiative. Obviously, there is some negotiation that will take place among the people in that group. And at the end of the day, we hope to have some ideas about projects that are important to you. So the way I would like to go about this is to identify the rooms that Okay, we will know the rooms tomorrow. That's when the exercise will be. But for just now, what we would like to do is for you to identify a regional initiative that you are interested in. You can write your name or your country on a piece of paper with the regional initiatives. We'll collect them, and then tomorrow, when we meet, we'll break out into those sessions and discuss what we would like ITU to take as projects to implement these regional initiatives. Do we have any questions at this point? Okay, the chairman has asked me to recap the regional initiatives. Regional Initiative 1 is building digital economies and fostering innovation in Africa. Regional Initiative 1. Regional Initiative 2 is promotion of emerging broadband technologies. Regional Initiative 3, building trust and security in the use of telecommunications/information and communication technology. Regional Initiative 4, strengthening human and institutional capacity building. Regional Initiative 5, management and monitoring of the radio spectrum, the radio frequency spectrum, and transition to digital broadcasting. As I said, we've come up with a couple of projects for each regional initiative that you can discuss and endorse, discard, or have, in fact, have new ones to add to those as well. What do you say? There was a question somewhere. Malawi. We still can't hear you. British.
Hello? Okay. My question goes to Marcelino. The template that you have provided to us, I really don't get what you're trying to say, because it's like you are presenting to us a template on how we can formulate projects on how to develop policies or strategies. But then from the initiatives that we have here are some projects to be done. It's just like something to be done, a real project, maybe human capacity building or enhancing broadband, new broadband technology uptake. So it's like, I really don't understand from your template. Is it for developing policies or strategies or for projects?
Answer that. Oh, okay. We did it together, so I can respond. What Marcelino has described, what we would like you to do is to come up with ideas for projects. What he has shown you is the process we shall go through to formally formulate a project. We have expected results that were identified. We have KPIs that were identified. What we would like is ideas from you, and then we'll go through the formal process for results-based management projects. And what he was describing is the process that we go through. But what we need from you is to brainstorm and come up with project ideas. Correct? All right, if there are no other questions, we won't. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for that. So I just want to understand it clearly. Is it that you have already identified some projects that are related to the regional initiatives? So if that is the case, can we be privy to those projects, at least ahead of time, so that tomorrow when we do meet, we could analyze it clearly, particularly with the problem statement and expected results, so that we can relate it to the original initiative directly and see whether we could tweak it or we could make some adjustments here and there. Okay.
Okay, we'll do that. As I said, we have a document, and for each regional initiative, there is what we have proposed and what an idea and format of what you can follow to add more. Miriam.
Thank you. It's also for more clarification. You mean project ideas, and then the next step is a consultation among the member states and regional organization to get the project, or is it clear?
Really what we want. If you say, for example, digital economy, development of digital economy is an important project for you for people to do. We'll discuss. We'll see whether everybody in your group agrees. That's where the negotiation comes in. We'll identify possible partners. We'll identify a budget and scope of how big it needs to be, and then the actual formulation of the project document. We, as the Secretariat, will come up with that. Mr. Chairman, I think we are through. It looks like we've got a lot of work tomorrow, but
I know we've run out of time. We have one more session to go. It's going to be a very short one. But just a quick announcement on the study groups. So 5 countries have been identified by ITU as going to chair the 5 working groups. Now, as said, anyone can be a member of any of the 5. Right, so just make sure that you write on a note whichever working group you want to be. For Regional Initiative 1, which is building digital economies and fostering innovation in Africa, Senegal is going to chair. But that means that tomorrow, when we do come in here and the rooms are identified and you group 1, you go to your room, Senegal is going to chair. At that point in time, a vice chair will be elected and the rapporteurs will also be elected. Regional Initiative number 2, promotion of emerging broadband technologies. That's going to be chaired by Burkina Faso. Regional Initiative number 3, building trust and security in the use of telecommunications, information and communication technology. That will be chaired by Ghana. Regional Initiative number 4, strengthening human and institutional capacity building. That will be chaired by Nigeria. And last one, number 5, management and monitoring of radio frequency spectrum and transition to digital broadcasting, chaired by Côte d'Ivoire. So once again, Senegal, Regional Initiative number 1, Burkina Faso number 2, Ghana number 3, Nigeria number 4, and Côte d'Ivoire number 5. So we take a quick break, about 5 minutes, all right, quick coffee break, and then we come up and we do a last session and we wrap up. There's going to be a dinner at the Alisa Hotel, so we will give you details. So right after here, we can all go to Alisa Hotel here in Ghana and have dinner, okay? All right, so just a quick stretch and do a coffee break. Thank you.